Hey guys. So, welcome back or welcome. This is Tradition with a Twist. If you've joined us before, welcome back. And if this is the first time, thank you for joining us. We are going to finish up our journey with Lois, episode 9 this time.
Grotesquerie.
Yep, the stinging aroma of sulfur.
Yes. Yes. Sulfur.
Sulfur. Interesting.
Many times used in several episodes and
Yeah.
familiar from Lois's dream.
It is. So again, we are rejoining the awakened Lois. Lois no longer in the coma. She is in the real world and processing.
Yes.
And so again, once again, we are seeing her interact with her real life people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this episode kind of picks up where the last one left off. So she and Maisie are in the car driving after Lois left Merritt's house, and Maisie's like, "I told you it wasn't a good idea."
Yeah, but now they're driving somewhere else, and Maisie says again, "I don't think this is a good idea." And she's like, "No, it's fine. We gonna get this to work."
Yeah.
So the mysterious place we're traveling to happens to be Marshall and
Red's
Red's
house.
home. So yeah, as we pull up, Marshall's actually outside. He's watering his plants, and then he kind of ushers her inside. And
Come on
next
in.
thing we know, we have all three of them sitting at the table together.
Right. And Lois is like, "Okay, so we're gonna do this divorce thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this divorce thing. I think it's only right. It's only fair. It's about time. I know how you felt about me. You told me very clearly you wanted me to die. You hated me. I think ending the marriage is right. We've done a lot of wrongs to each other.
And I just want to be at peace now.
I have plans. I'm going to leave a lot of this behind. I'm going to a whole new place. And you can have whatever you want, Marshall. I don't even care. You can have the china. You could have whatever. You just tell me. I'll sign the papers. It is yours. Nothing is going to cost more than my peace, basically.
Yeah.
I don't want to live like that in a constant state of catastrophe and endless rage. So, with regards to you and I in the future, I want us to just be at peace. Okay? Here are divorce papers. You can have whatever you want.
Yeah. And he's like, "Okay, so what is this? I'm supposed to be grateful about all this?" He's like, No. Ain't no peace for you. You are a chimera. You are a beast of fury. And you know what? I did want you dead. The world would be so much prettier without both of us. But no. So it's very he's very stuck still in an anger place, even though she's trying to be like, "Look, it's fine. I get it.
We've done
You
each
don't
other
like me.
wrong.
I don't like you.
Right.
That's okay. But I don't want to hate you. I don't want to love you. I just want to be at peace."
Yes.
And they even go back through, some of the things that kind of triggered them. And she was like, "I knew I couldn't love you anymore after the way you treated our daughter, after she had her weight gain." And he was like, "What are you talking about? You're the one who despised her." She's like, "No, that was you." He's like, "Well, I mean, come on, can you blame me? She gained 100 pounds in a year. It's biblical, and it's all." And she's like, "Yeah, and that's when you're supposed to, And she was crying out for something, and Los is like, "Yeah, well then that's when you love them more. That's when you support them." So when I saw how you treated her, I realized, you know what?
That was
I can't love this man.
I was helpless. 100 pounds in 1 year, it's biblical. It was a curse.
Exactly. And that's when you love people more. And your reaction to that made me think I could no longer love you.
And she was like, "And actually, Red, I'm grateful. I was grateful to you because
And I've always liked you, Red.
Yeah, because you were able to give him the support that I knew that I no longer could.
Yeah.
And so, I was actually happy that you took this little piece of trash off my hands for a period of time. Because to me, Marshall just showed himself as a truly pompous asshole.
I like you, Red. I always have. She was your nurse in my dream. But Marshall, I heard you when you whispered in my ear in the hospital and wished me dead.
Just fucking die.
And not in a merciful way, so...
I was pushed to that.
Well, we all know how love can turn to hate, don't we?
I'm just supposed to be grateful now. That's what's expected of me. That's the sum of your collected wisdom about who you are. Let's set the record straight. Hard implies that you are still a recognizable human, but you are impossible to categorize. A chimera, a fucking beast made of fury. And good luck letting that go, because It's ingrained in you, Lois. It is you, Lois.
Marshall, let's not do this. She's trying to...
No, I did want you to die. You bet. It would have been a fucking mercy to both of us. The cunt and the asshole keel over both of us need to be dead.
That's our show, folks.
Yeah.
Truly pompous.
He was a butt.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Lois again just makes her peace known. She's like, listen, at the end of the day, Marshall, you can feel how you feel. You can despise me or whatever, but that's not changing my mind.
Yeah.
I am going
Go ahead
towards
and
my
sign those
peace.
papers right there.
That's right.
Okay. See you later.
I'm going towards my peace. And, you know, that's kind of where that scene.
Yeah, she walks out.
Yeah.
And then
ends.
shows him the backside.
Come on. She's like, I'm done here. And so the next thing we know, you know, scene change as it does, and we are in the motel.
We are still driving with Maisie.
Why do I keep forgetting this
You
person?
keep forgetting Merritt.
I know. I just black her out all the time.
But we're back in she gets in the car, they're driving again, and Maisie is still again, I still don't think this is a good idea.
That's right.
She's like, but I need to do this.
Yeah.
I gotta do this.
Oh Lord.
So now we are back at Merritt's home.
Oh my goodness.
And Merritt looks almost like she don't want to open the door, but
like,
you know, Lois pushes the door open and she's like, yeah, so you know, we need to talk. I came to tell you, you know,
she was like,
I'm leaving.
And
Going
she was
somewhere
like,
warm.
You know what? Remember that slap? She was like, let me tell you something. You was a hateful child. You was evil. You was horrible. You was horrible, okay? Dealing with you was horrible. Remember all your horrible boyfriends?
You were
crazy. You were crazy. You joined a cult. I went through a lot with your ass.
It's good to see you.
So what is this? Are you here to beg for more forgiveness, to apologize more? I mean...
Now, I know I was a bad mother. An unforgivable one, eventually.
Eventually?
But you, look, girl, you sucked. And I was there for you through all of it. The 2 nervous breakdowns, the time you joined a goddamn cult.
Okay, I did not join a cult. That was a group of
A cult. All the bad boyfriends. I was there for all of it, Mary, and I tried and I tried. But you were a bitch for 2 decades. And I had enough.
Put up with that. And I was there for you.
I was there for you. I was there for you through all of it. You was just mean, evil, and hateful. And you over here, you slapping me because I wasn't shit? Well, shit, you wasn't shit neither.
Yep. So he smacks her back, and it's like,
said,
well,
yeah, you know that what you did to me hurt. Check this out. Bam.
Yeah.
Her pin pan was strong too.
Yeah. So after that, you know, after she smacks her back, she's like, well, you know, call me if you want a real relationship.
Yeah, if you decide you want to have a real relationship with me, you'll know where I am. But
because that's the only kind of relationship I want. So now she's saying she really just wants a real relationship. She wants to get deep. She wants to have a real relationship, not anything toxic, not anything, you know, petty.
No.
So yeah,
I am leaving. Okay, I'm moving away to somewhere warm. Bye. One last thing. That slap of yours the last time I saw you, that really hurt. Good. Now, if you ever desire to have a real relationship with me, come find me. Because after all I've been through, baby girl, that is the only kind I want.
She was like, so basically, in order for me to let this go, I had to give you my slap back. But, you know, that's fine. If you decide you want me, you know where to find me.
So we kind of almost see her trying to come to terms and peace with her family. So we've had Marshall and Red, and now we have Merritt, and now we swap to Meg in the hotel answering a phone call.
Yeah.
And
phone calls again.
Yeah. And she's just like, okay, send me the address. Which is interesting though, because that's really kind of all we get on that. We just we get a glimpse into that, and then we're back to Dr. Whitcomb.
That's yeah.
And Lois. Dr. Whitcomb and Lois. And he talks about, you know, how, you know, well, your dreams, they really are, your dreams and hallucinations are like a jigsaw puzzle, you know, and now we're trying to kind of fit them all together. You know, they're made up of your reflections from your own experiences.
Yeah.
And that's where Lois is kind of like, well, no, it can't be real. Not all of them, because in my dreams, the world was burning,
right?
You know, and we were going through the end of days, right?
That I don't think that she was like, when did I experience that?
Yeah, exactly.
And they even go over the fact that some of the cases were not real cases; they were things she hadn't experienced.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet, because at this point, this is just her and Dr. Whitcomb talking. And then, so as she's saying, you know, it can't be real, like that. That's not all of them. And he's like, you know what? I have
There
this
you
colleague, right? And he's really brilliant. He's awesome. Like, will you allow him to come in and interview you as well and talk through these things with you? And that's when she's like, yeah, okay, I guess so. So this is where we are introduced to a new doctor, Dr. Milton Smith.
Go ahead, bring him in. What's his name?
Dr. Milton Smith, PhD.
Hello, Lois. It's nice to finally meet you.
And he is the one who kind of is like, you know, we're going to need to delve into some of these dreams, Lois. Like, I know it might be painful, but it's necessary for healing. And, you know, some of these dreams, I find it interesting that some of the murders listed are not anything like what you've experienced.
Dealt with.
And she's like, and so they talk about the first one, the milking plant is the first one that's brought up.
Yes.
And they're like,
and
well,
she
what,
is confused because she's like, I've never had anything like that. And he was like, well, think about it, basically. Think about it. And she's like, well, you know what? When I think about it, it makes me think of a woman's loss of agency, how nowadays women are losing the agency over their bodies. And so that would make sense. That would make sense why I would dream something like that. And she said, you know, even how, as to how I met Maisie and you know, how I even ended up in a coma in the first place. She said,
because I went to a women's rights rally. Because, again, so it's kind of like the whole women losing agency. And I'm going to fight for this because, you know, women no longer have control over their own body. You're telling me when I am allowed to breed and that I have to breed and all of this. Like, so she's saying that's how she got her COVID, going to a women's rights rally.
Your mind is extraordinary to me. The murders from your dreams, that bear no resemblance to any case you ever had. What is that, do you think?
The milk plant. Women tied to milking machines. That was in my mind, my subconscious. Women losing agency, control over their own bodies, being forced to reproduce. I never had a case like that, but it was distressing to me the way this world has turned on women. You know, that's how I got the COVID that put me in a coma. Maisie and I went to a women's rights rally at City Hall.
Based on my research, an issue you would die for.
Exactly. And so she was like, you know, so I could see where that would come from, you know, and he's like, okay, well, there are other cases as well, you know, like the drug dealer or things like that. And he's trying to get her to really think outside of the box, to really think deeper into what these dreams are. And Lois is kind of like, and he actually says to her at a point,
he said, you know what I think? I think, you know, that you actually saw the future. You know, you're kind of a prophet in all of this. And she's like, that's an interesting thing for a therapist, a psychiatrist to say.
I want you to be free from the grip of your trauma. And while some nightmares are better left alone, some we have to confront. The ones we don't forget, what I call failed dreams, because we should not remember them. You saw the future, I think. You envisioned it.
Like Moses. A prophet, as it were.
That is an interesting choice of words for a psychiatrist. A prophet?
Maybe.
And he's like, well, you know, I actually, you know, I ended up going to this lecture about humanity losing empathy. And, you know, in this lecture on empathy, they say that, you know, empathy is seeping out of human nature. The human species is changing, and in some ways it's devolving because it's losing its empathy.
Dr. Smith, if I may, I have an observation.
Of course. Sharing is caring.
I went to a lecture on empathy in New York a bit ago.
Well, I think this proves that there is less empathy now than there was previously, at least in student populations. So, what are we to make of this? Is empathy seeping out of human nature? Maybe it's the isolation of our moment. Less human interaction, more technology supplanting communion. But regardless of what it is, brain imaging is showing our mirror neurons changing markedly. And this can only mean that the human species is also changing.
So she's, you know, she's trying to like kind of like wrap her head around this, and she's like, okay, well, you know what, I think I've had enough of this.
I think I'm done for the day.
I'm not vibing with that, you know, okay, so I'm out.
Yeah, but before they leave, you know, she and new Dr. Smith, he's like, you know, Lois, you've touched my soul. You've touched my soul. And she looks back at the doctor and she says, and you mine.
Yeah.
And she leaves, and you're kind of like, touch my soul. What the? All right, y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Stay in touch, Lois, please.
Will do.
Lois, if I may make an observation,
Yes.
your soul touches me.
And your soul touches me. Thank you.
So after the interview with the doctors, Lois goes home.
Yeah.
She goes home, and guess who's sitting at the table with Maisie waiting for her?
Lovely Miss Red.
Oh, Red is waiting. She
Red
is
is
waiting. And Maisie says, I think it's time for me to go. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna tap out on this one. I'm gonna go to the store. And you got Lois and Red at the table, and Red is like, take him back.
I don't want
him
I
this
don't
way.
want Marshall this way.
This way.
Yeah. And
I don't want him this
it was
way.
like, nah, no refunds, no returns.
She's like,
no exchanges.
Full time. She's like, I don't want him full time.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Well, she looked up where you were going. I looked up where you were going, and the beautiful little Victorian bungalows, and it just looks so great. Like, I just,
I could see myself there.
I want to be able to do what I want to do. Like, not shower if I don't want to, not cook dinner if I don't want to, and having Marshall
He's a
full
lot.
time, it's too much.
Yeah, I don't want it. And you know what I realized? I don't like him. I don't want him. No. And Lois is like, girl, why are you telling me? Don't you got no friends?
Yeah.
And Red goes, well, actually, does anybody?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, sweetie, I'm gonna need you to figure this out. This is a you thing.
She does give her advice, though. She's like, you know what? Go ahead. I advise you break up with Marshall and get back to you.
Yeah, she's
get
like,
back to you. Get you an animal. Get a cat.
Yeah,
Get a
dog.
dog. Hell, get a parrot. Get a bird. Get something. But
let that nigga.
Yeah.
Let him go.
Let him go.
Let him go.
Let him go.
Because he's not serving you.
Yeah.
And I damn sure don't want him back.
Yeah.
So handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Handle that. Okay.
So that's where that kind of ends. And now we cut back to Megan, who's calling Lois, and she's like, Lois, I need your help. It's a family. There's this big murder.
Yep.
There's the media's found out, all of this. Like, I need you. Lois goes. And she's like, oh my gosh. She walks in, and essentially she must be getting deja vu, because she's like, what's happening here is
it's the Burnsides.
Yeah.
It is the murder one that we saw in episode 1. And it is amazing because she's like, how could I possibly know this? Why is this everything that I dreamt is happening, from the splatters on the wall to the stock pot, the horrific boiling stock pot, all of it's there. And so murder 1 is no longer just a fever dream, it is now a reality. The only difference is the head detective is Chief Megan and not Lois. Mm-hmm. But nothing has changed. Every other piece of information is the same.
Yeah. So after that, now we're cutting back to Lois's home. Yeah. She's sleeping.
Yeah.
And of course, she happens to get another phone call.
Yeah.
And it's Megan again. But so she's like, the results have come back for identifying this substance. Mm-hmm. And Lois automatically, she's like, oh my God, is it sulfur? And she's like, look, no. Like, we're not going to talk about this on the phone. Come to my motel.
Yeah.
And as she's driving up to this motel, Lois is in a fit because she's like...
She's never been here before, mind you, except for...
In her dream.
And it is the exact same motel from the dream that Megan and Lois visited when they were trying to rescue Andrea.
Yeah. So she's taking it back there. She sits there for a moment and she's like, okay.
She's like, so I'm still dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm in a coma. This isn't real. It's
Yep.
not possible.
Yes.
It's not. This is not possible.
Yes.
The murder has happened. Now I'm back here.
Mm-hmm.
What is all of this?
Yep. So when she gets to
Megan's
room, she's like, I gotta still be dreaming. Yeah. Like, it's not like these are the murders from my dreams.
Right. How
like,
is this possible?
Right. She's like, okay, I need to come to reality. I need you to cut me. I need to see myself bleed.
And Megan is like, like, pardon me? And she's like, yes, because
I'm still dreaming.
if I bleed, then I'm not dreaming. Then I'll know this is real.
Yeah.
And Megan's like, we're not gonna do that. No.
Yeah, but Lois is adamant. She's like, no, yeah, we are. Just a little one.
Right.
Just a little nick. Just something so I can see my blood. And so, yeah, Megan does it, and Lois sees herself bleed, and then she runs into the bathroom, closes the door, and, you know, it's like, she's trying to come to terms with, like, okay, shoot, this really is real life.
Yeah. Well, while Lois is in the bathroom with the door closed, another door burst open. And who comes in other than Justin?
Deadbeat Justin.
Deadbeat Justin comes in. So I'm like, you didn't think I would find you? You didn't think I'd be able to find you?
Oh, you think you can just leave me a note? You think you can do that? You can leave? Huh? Eat this note. Eat it.
Oh.
What are you doing? Think I can track you down? Fuck, bitch. You leave me a fucking note?
Give me an ultimatum!
Get the fuck off her.
Oh my gosh. And Lois can hear this.
Yeah, so she hears the
From the
thumping,
bathroom.
all
Yeah.
of these noises, the loud arguing.
All from the bathroom. And Lois is like, you know what? I got something for you. I got something. Because remember, Lois is still, she don't know if this is real or a dream. And she's like, but I got something for you. Because what's not going to happen is this. And she comes out with her pow pow.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where Justin is away from, does she push Justin? I don't remember how.
No, he was
like
on
a
top
moment.
of her,
Yeah.
shoving a note in her mouth, and she's like, come on, back up,
Right.
get off her. And so he climbs off the bed.
Yes.
And then he's just standing there. And Megan like goes into the corner, and she's like, she's losing it, crying, having a breakdown. And so he's standing up a few feet away from her, and then he moves kind of closer
to her. And
she's
very,
like,
very similarly to earlier when Megan had the pow pow out in his face. He's like, you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, what's interesting also though is that, you know, because during this time as Megan's having her breakdown, she's like, you're dreaming, Lois, it's just a dream, it's just a dream. He's like, nah, you
This
awake,
is
boo.
real. You've been awake.
You awake, babe.
Yep.
You've been awake this whole time. You awake. Oh yeah, we know about you.
Yep. We talk about you. We talk about you. And proceeds to put his mouth.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, you're not going to do it.
Her.
You can't kill me.
You're not strong enough.
Yeah.
And she said, you want to bet? Click, clack, pa-pow.
Yeah.
Pa-pow.
Yeah.
And our sister Megan is covered.
Yes.
In pieces of Justin.
Yes. You
want to bet?
So, with that, we end this episode.
Yeah.
With the fallout of Justin. The deadbeat is now gone. Gone.
And that's what happens, you know. You try her, she gonna show you. So Lois showed him better than she could tell him.
She said FAFO.
There you go.
Mess around and find out.
Come on. But guys, you know, we thank you so much for entertaining us and joining us for this recap of 9, but it's twist time. And so we're going to end our episode the way we normally do, with a little bit of a message.
I feel like. Do you want a number 2?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna look at a moon deck here for some guidance. Just maybe some guidance, some words of wisdom, something that the collective needs to hear today, or a message that they need. So let's see, what message do we have for the collective that they need to hear today?
Oh,
okay. So there are 2 cards that came out here. The first one, I am of the earth and in harmony with nature, and I focus on what is working.
I like it.
So it's all about balance. It's all about
Yeah. Perspective and balance.
Perspective and balance. Being of the earth and being in harmony with yourself and your surroundings. And focusing on
What is working.
and what does serve you.
Yes. Yes. So spend time focusing on those things that you would like to happen, want to happen, desire to happen, as opposed to maybe what's not working or what you fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you do feel a little out of balance, or if you're having a tough time focusing on what is working, take some time out in
Spend
nature.
some time in nature. Yeah, take off your shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Touch the earth with your feet. Hands. Something. It's always a good time, y'all.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining us. I'm Tracy.
I'm Nicole. Don't forget to like,
share, and
subscribe,
subscribe.
and comment.
There you go. And we will talk to you guys again soon.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.